Hey everyone, welcoming you to get settled in. Looks like I have to rearrange my camera so you can see my mat. But if you have it today, I'm going to suggest you grab some type of blanket. I happen to have this yoga studio style one, a Mexican blanket. But if you don't have one like this, it's totally normal. So just grab a light blanket that you can roll up. And we'll get that started in a second. Also, if you like to use blanket pillows or blocks or books as blocks, grab those now. And I'll check back in with you in 1 second. Let's see. That's a little better. Get in there. All right, that's better. Looks good. Okay. All right. Little new setup today. So anyway, if you're grabbing a blanket, if you have a blanket, we're going to fold it up into some type of rectangular shape. So it's a little bit long. I'll show you what mine will end up looking like, so you can decide how to best fold yours. But I'm just rolling it pretty tightly like this. And in a moment, what we're going to do is we'll stand up onto our shins into kneeling, and we're going to scoot this roll behind the knees and sit back onto it. So it's just a gentle way to massage the backs of the legs. So I'll give you a moment to set your blanket up however possible, knowing its future use. And I will also give you another manual option if you don't have a blanket that's suited to this once we get to it. But when you do have your blanket set up, if you're using it, just set it to the side and take a seat. You can be kneeling. You can sit on your bum, directly on the ground. I encourage you, if you like, to gather hands in the lap or on the thighs and rest the eyes, having them either closed, downcast, or both. And we'll just relax into our breath. Just watching the breath move in and out of the body. Observing whether the pace of breath in and out is fast or slow, determining whether it can be slower. Observing whether it's faster than we need it to be, and trying to dial it back. Take this opportunity to feel the pressure and the weight of the body on the legs and feet if you're kneeling, or on the pelvis and the sits bones if you're sitting directly on the ground. And scanning the physical body, just to notice every part of you that imparts that weight down through the rest of the body into the ground. Now moving the palms of both hands onto the low belly, continuing to breathe, but instead focusing the breath into the lower chamber of the torso, so the low belly, and allowing the belly to be soft so that it can flare out and into the hands on your inhale. And at the apex, the fullest point of the inhale, hold a moment and then allow the belly to relax and soften, feeling it fall back towards the ground, towards the spine, and the hands along with it. Again, taking note whether the breath has sped up or if you've been able to control the pace, keep it measured and slow and smooth, or try to. And now moving the hands to the ribs. So you have 4 main fingers of the hands, if you have them all, and the thumb behind on the back side of the ribs. So it's kind of like our hands are on our hips, just scooting the hands up. If you're a person that wears bra, it might be right at your bra line, that widest part of your rib cage. And now as we inhale, we'll feel the ribs flaring outward and relaxing down on the exhale. And we're not applying any direct pressure to the ribs or the lungs with the hands, just resting them so we can feel the movement of the breath on the physical body. Next, moving one hand to the heart and the other behind towards the place where the shoulder blades approach each other on the back. So before you do that, in case I kind of fast forwarded, you're going to extend one hand out to the side, turn the palm down towards the ground, and then to face the back of the room, so your shoulder and arm are rotating down and backwards, and then you'll bend the elbow so the front of that palm slides behind the back and touches it. Now just using the hands placed in a different position to sense the direction of the chest expanding on the inhale. Maybe this is a more front and back feeling on the inhale and exhale. And after a few breaths, see if you can direct the breath more towards that rear hand. We often think of the breath animating the chest outward and upward. You can instead think about the back of the body moving on the inhale. And all the while, can we slightly engage the abdomen just enough to encourage the spine to straighten and stack, so we don't fall and jump into the pelvis and the low back. Now, lowering both hands back into the lap, a few quiet breaths. And see if we feel more reset and primed. Okay. Your eyes were closed like mine. Gradually open them, blink them. And we'll get started with a couple bigger movements. If your legs are feeling fatigued or buzzy from sitting on the shins, you're welcome to untuck them. Come down to a different seated position. I'm going to. We're going to cross legs for now. Now we're just going to do a couple of gentle twists side to side. So if you are seated on your bum like me, we're going to reach the right hand across the body over to the left knee. Take the left hand behind the back and twist open to the left. And we'll start just by looking to the left side. Treating the spine gently. And maybe with each breath you feel just a micro movement of rotation towards the back of the room. But we're not yet pushing into that left knee with the right arm. That can come later. Just working to sit up nice and tall. Maybe instead our attention is on the breath and soft engagement of the abdomen. And then rotating back through center, we can place the right palm on the ground behind us, crossing the left arm across the body to reach for the right knee, and now rotating and looking to the right side of the room. Plugging our attention back into our breathing, noticing if we can't sit up a little taller. We can encourage our breath to expand the chest and belly a little more broadly. And maybe the rotation of the spine starts to drop a few ticks in the direction of the back of the room. Now, slowly coming back through the center of the room, we'll sweep the arms out and up. Inhale. The arms straight up, face the palms forward, flare the fingers, reach up out of the pelvis, up through the spine, up to the arms, out of the shoulders. Still breathing. Just working to expand. And exhale, bend the arms out towards the sides, pulling the elbows towards the back of the room and the shoulder blades towards one another behind you. Breathing in and out here, just pausing in this physical position. As you stretch the front of the chest, the collarbones. Strengthening the abdomen and the spine, just working to stay upright. Inhale the arms up again, inhale. And exhale, shake the arms down. Okay. If you were still in your kneeling position, that's very impressive. I would take the opportunity maybe to tap the feet on the mat, making some noise, wake up and recirculate some blood and feeling in your lower extremities. But then grab whatever you're using as a wedge to put behind your legs. And if you didn't have that type of blanket, no worries. This may feel a little strange, but try it. Maybe you like it. You're going to reach the hands behind you. Actually, I'll turn sideways so you can see. You're going to reach the hands behind you. You're just going to sit back onto them. So you'll be a little hunched. That's okay, but you should feel pressure on the backs of your calves. And you may feel some pressure also in your quads. But I think what for most people will feel more comfortable is if your hands are flat rather than in a fist and the palms are facing up towards the ceiling. So your palms are going to touch your quads, I guess, your hamstrings, really the backs of your legs. So that's where you can start. You might feel a stretch on the outside of your wrists. If you work to straighten the arms, not necessary. If you'd like a little more sensation, you can scoot the hands deeper into this crevice behind your knees and instead place the wrists in there rather than the palms. And sit back on the hands. And this will apply a denser object to apply pressure on the calves. And you'll see, like for me, my seat is no longer reaching my heels. And over time, I would hope that some of that space might give way. It's not my goal. My goal is to marinate in the sensation I'm feeling in the backs of my leg. If you feel any pain in your wrist doing this, please back out by standing up a little more upright, or I'll show you what this looks like with the blanket. But if you're in a place where it feels sensational, but not painful, that's awesome. So anyway, I'm gonna go forward a little bit like this, and then come back to upright. Oh, and sit back on the blanket. So if you're doing the blanket, you'll probably be a little more upright. Again, seat hovering. And you can place the palms on the thighs. You close the eyes, try and focus on everything going on down here. Noticing that your breath may have stopped. Encouraging it to resume, slow down, chill out. And encouraging again, long spine, sitting up out of the pelvis, out of the low back. Take 5 more slow breaths here. And that's 5. If you're working with a blanket, just move it back a couple inches. So maybe it's at the bottom of the calves now, and sit back. Maybe you rock a little bit more. So just targeting a different set for a different piece of the muscles on the backs of the legs. And using the breath to relax the rest of the body. And relax the brain. Maybe you'll feel that the longer you stay in this wedged position, the more comfortable it becomes, the more release you experience. We'll do 3 more long breaths here. All right, I got lost. Just enjoying it so much. You can stand up on the shins, remove your wrists or blanket, and maybe tap out the feet like I recommended before. And then I'm gonna have you sit back onto the heels and extend the arms out in front of you, finding your child's pose. Now your knees can come apart towards the edges of the mats, keeping the toes together, or if you'd like having the knees closer together, that's cool too. And just see if you can relax the torso through the shoulders, allowing the head to come closer towards the mat. Stretching the arms and fingers long and away from the shoulders. Imagining weight in the seat so that it comes closer to the feet. And understanding that the seat and the fingers are moving away from each other and lengthening the back. Maybe we roll the head, the forehead side to side if it's on the mat, massaging the brow bone, the forehead. Inhaling, feel the spine lengthen. And exhale. 2 more breaths. Inhale. And exhale. 1 more. Inhale, send the breath down the back towards the seat. Feeling the ribs expand. And exhale. Walking the hands over to the right, tiptoeing the fingers. Maybe you look up. Inhale. And exhale, relax the head down. Working to keep the left side of the hips tethered to the feet if they were there before. Second breath in and out. 1 more. Inhaling, feeling the left side of the ribs flaring. And out. Walking the hands through center, over to the left. Inhale, spine's long. Exhale, relax the head down to the mat. Inhale, left or the right ribs. Flaring now. Inhale, 2. Exhale. Inhale, 3. Right hip is heavy. Exhale. Walking the hands back through center. Rest in child's pose. Walking the hands closer so that they're under the shoulders, coming onto hands and knees. We're going to press the floor away, rotating the elbow points in through center and forward. Knees are underneath the hip points. You can have the toes untucked like me, or tucked down like me. And still pressing the floor away, feeling the shoulder blades slide across the back, away from one another. And lastly, drawing the low belly in to support the spine. Breathing. Just finding what it's like to have an activated neutral position. Neck is long, gaze is probably downward or out over the nose. We'll untuck the toes if they're tucked, press back, child's pose. Exhale. Inhale, raise up to the knees, sweep the arms up. Inhale. Exhale, cactus the arms open, look up. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, sweep the arms down and forward, child's pose. Inhale, look forward, scoot forward to the hands. Finding a kind of casual up dog cobra. Exhale, back to child's pose. Inhale, sweep the hands out and up. Standing kneel, inhale. Exhale, cactus, arms open, look up. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, tuck back to child's pose. Inhale, scooting forward through your little cobra, easy up dog. Exhale, seat back, child's pose. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, cactus, look up, long spine. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, sweep the arms down and forward, seat back, child's pose. Inhale, scoot forward through the cobra. Exhale, seat back, child's pose. 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Sit back. Sweep the arms up, kneeling, look up. And exhale, sit back down. And I just sweep the arms forward, coming back to that cobra position. But let's just rest the head. Let's see, can you see me? Yes. We'll rest the forehead, the hands underneath the shoulders. Elbows are tucked in, so they're pointing backwards away from the fingers. Toes are untucked. The tops of the feet are flat on the floor. We're engaging the whole leg, so maybe your knees lift up off the ground. We're engaging the belly. Maybe start to feel the pubic bone on the floor. And we're going to press the floor away, engage the two shoulder blades behind to lift the chest up just a little bit. Still pinching the shoulder blades on the back, so we feel the collarbones broadening, chest opening up. Breathing in through the nose, out through the nose. Our wings are still tucked in. And exhale, rest the head. Shake the hips side to side. Let the legs relax so the knees find the ground again. Okay. This time, same setup, tops of the feet on the ground. Engage the leg, kneecaps up, pubic bone finds the floor. Engage the belly, tuck the wings, the elbows back, engage the shoulder blades, and peel up off the ground. Inhale. Maybe we float the hands off the ground, keeping everything else intact. Inhale, get a little higher. Exhale. One more. Inhale, engaging the muscles of the back. And exhale, relax down. Shake the hips. Take a couple relaxing breaths. We'll do one more cobra variation. So build from the bottom up, tops of the feet press into the floor, legs engage, kneecaps up, pubic bone roots, engage the low belly, tuck the elbows back, and pull the palms backwards. Feeling the chest up, gazes forward. Lift the hands off the ground, and this time extend the arms forward. Inhale, exhale, staying up. Inhale, lift the feet off the ground. Exhale, stay up. Inhale, stretch in all four directions. Exhale. Inhale one more time. Inhale, all four directions. Exhale, pull the elbows back. So we're doing the same cactus shape. Inhale forward. Exhale, cactus. Inhale forward. Exhale, cactus. And relax down. Shake the hips side to side. Very good. Press the seat back. Take a couple moments in child's pose to counteract this back bend. And we're going to flip around to our backs now. Ooh. So find yourself on your back, shoulder blades flat on the ground. And we're going to extend the arms out wide. Soles of the feet will start on the mat. See if we can space them about hips width distance. The heels are a little bit further ahead than our knees are, almost underneath the knees. And all we're going to do is lift the feet up so the shins come to be about parallel. And we're just going to hold here. So maybe flex the feet, engage the belly by pulling it back down towards the spine. Still managing to breathe. And check in with your knees. Are they closer to your chest? See if we can put them out so they're about 90 degrees. So directly over the hips. pressing the palms and the arms into the ground. Okay. So we're going to start. We're just going to do a little bit ab warm up. So I'm going to encourage you maybe to bring the knees and the shins and the upper leg muscles together. Keep pressing the floor, the palms into the floor. Keep pulling the belly in, and we're going to let the two legs drop over to the right, but keep them in the air. And then using the muscles in the breath, inhale up through center. Exhale them over to the left. Let them hover. Feeling twist. Using the breath and the abdominal muscles to pull them up through center. Again, over to the right. Maybe you look over the left shoulder. Press into the left hand to point your balance the weight of the legs to the right. Inhale, legs up through center. Exhale, fall over to the left, look to the right. Inhale, legs up over center. All right. Do one more time on each side. Inhale, lower the legs to the right. Let's see if we can bring them almost to the level of the floor, but not quite touching. Pulling the belly in. Still breathing. Pressing the left palm into the floor. Pressing the right palm into the floor. And inhale up through center. One more time, left side. Gaze over to the right. Legs hovering on the left side, just a few inches above the floor. Both hands pressing into the ground.
Yeah, okay. So I said,
engaging the belly. And on the inhale, breath is up through the center, legs up through the center. And pull them in towards the chest, rocking, massage the back. All right. Similar, we're going to extend the arms along the side, and maybe you rock up onto them so the palms are just underneath your two butt cheeks. Sending the legs upwards towards center, towards the ceiling. And we're going to aim again for that 90-degree position. So your heels are going to be in line over your butt. Again, pulling the low belly in so you feel more of the low back flatten onto the floor. And we're going to lower the right leg down slowly towards the ground. And when you get towards the floor, instead of dropping it with a bent knee, keep it hovering and kick out through the right heel. Start to feel that low belly activate, especially on the right side. Kicking up to the left heel at the same time. Inhale the right leg back up. Lowering to the left heel slowly now. Kicking up through the right foot, out through the left foot. Hovering. Inhale. Exhale. Still kicking up and out. Inhale. Exhale. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Draw the left leg up to meet the right. Circle the ankles one direction and the other. All right. We'll do similar, but instead we'll just alternate at the same time. So re-engage those arms on either side so more of them are finding the floor to support you. Again, reclaim that low belly to support the low back. More of the low back finds the floor. You're going to extend both heels out, straightening, engaging the legs. And we'll exhale. Right leg down to hover. On the inhale, swap the legs left. Heel goes down to hover. Right leg goes back up towards the ceiling. Inhale, switch. Exhale. Inhale, switch. Exhale, inhale, switch. And switch. Let's do 5 more. Switch, 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 and switch. Inhale both legs up, draw the knees into the chest, rock, rock, rock. All right, rocking forward and back on the spine. And eventually we'll meet seated. All right, let's see. Let's do a little work in squat. So first let's start standing all the way up, look down at the feet. Have the toes pointed forward, heels directly behind them. Feet are planted about hips width distance, maybe a little wider. And I direct the 2 toes out to the sides, so radiating away from the heels. Hands will find the hips and we'll bend the knees, squatting down towards the heels. You can have hands find each other in prayer in the front of the chest, using the elbows to wedge between the knees and push them away, while pulling the knees in towards the shoulders, the upper arms. Engaging the low belly, trying to draw up long through the spine, and trying to rock our weight towards the outer edges of our feet. So drawing up through the arches rather than dumping forward and rotating through center. Maybe we try to shift our weight backwards towards the heels. Maybe we close the eyes. And reconnect with the pace and quality of your breath. Lower the left hand down to the floor, sweep the right arm, looking up over the right shoulder. Inhale. Exhale back through center. Lower the right arm down. Extend the left arm up, looking over the left shoulder, still working to draw the knees backwards in space rather than dumping into the inner arches. Exhale, center, one more time. Inhale, looking over right side. Exhale, center. Inhale, looking over the left. Exhale, center. We'll play with crow quickly. If you aren't familiar, I'll turn sideways to give you a little show. So we have a little squat position. Just as when we were in tabletop, when we started, your hands are planted super flat. You're going to work to rock forward onto the hands, so shifting the weight up onto the balls of the feet and then passing the weight into the palms of your hands. So that might be where you play with fire, right? That might be your point. You may also like to try picking up one foot, still pressing the floor away whenever you lift the foot. Drawing the low belly in. All the same cues, it seems, for every position, huh? And then maybe you lift both feet up. You look out over the nose rather than down. And then you take a break. You'll notice that I had a big breath once I came out of that, which means I was holding my breath and I shouldn't have been doing that. So if you are taking a little flying crow like that, see if you can breathe while you're in it. Not so easy. Let's give you a couple more minutes to play along. Experiment with that crow or the baby steps to get into it one day. And I'll check the time. Okay, doing great. All right, so we started off with a little bit of warm up for the back bend. So we'll do a little more, working on a little camel. We'll do camel prep. So eventually camel We'll sit back, the arms, the hands will reach down towards your heels. Let this nice U shape over the front of the body. But before that, we're going to work that back bend requires a little more openness in the fronts of our hips. So we'll do a little bit more hip warm up. To get started with that, let's press back into child's pose. And we'll come up through tabletop, tuck the toes and send the hips up and back, finding down dog. For the first time, it took us about 30 minutes to find our first dog. So down dog, feet can be as wide as you like, wider is better. Same with hands, aim for about shoulder width distance. But again, sometimes if you have cranky shoulders or injured shoulders, you might want a little more space by widening the palms. Palms are flat, fingers are spread wide. Your knees here can be super, super bent. The point of this dog can be just as much to lengthen the back as it is also useful for stretching the backs of the legs. We already did plenty of that, so if you like having the legs bent, you're also getting a benefit. You just have to press the palms into the ground and ignite the muscles of the upper arms. And breathe. All right, looking forward, step the right foot between the hands, coming into a low or runner's lunge. So you're up on the ball of the left foot, we're rocking backwards and forwards, and your left hip should say hello. So if you're finding yourself unable to access the floor, this is a great time to put some blocks up. Look how much height I just got. I should have grabbed my blocks. I was lazy today. So rocking back and forth, stretching the front side of the left hip. And we can pause, press the left palm into the floor, twisting, open to the right side, looking up over the right shoulder. Right palm comes back down, lower the knee, lower the top of the foot to the ground. You might look like this, that's totally fine. You also, again, might be on the box, might look like this. Wherever you are, see if you can drop the pelvis towards the front of the room a little more. Maybe you close the eyes just to focus on breathing and its effect on your ability or your sensation of the body moving. We'll inhale, stretch the chest forward. Exhale, shift the hips back. Pull the toes back towards the face on the right leg. Take a few breaths here in this half split. You can walk the hands back towards the hips or onto blocks. See if you can pull the right hip back in space and draw the left hip forward. Lunging back forward, inhale, chest up. Exhale, shifting the hips back and the toes back, half split. Inhale, forward to lunge. Walk the hands up onto the thigh. Just a couple breaths here. Again, how does that left front hip feel? Exhale. Half split, right toes back towards the face. Here, walk the hands closer in towards the legs. Great time to use your block to place it underneath the left palm. And you're going to draw the right foot back towards your face, draw the right hip back, left hip forward so your legs are twisting. And you extend the right arm up. Maybe your gaze follows. Both legs are engaged, the belly's engaged and twisting. The chest is working to open to the right. And your right IT band is firing. Exhale, lower back down into that lunge. Step the right leg back. Lift the hips up and back. Down dog, 3 breaths. And after 3, we're going to look forward. Come up onto the balls of the feet, bend the knees, and step the left foot between the palms. Coming into runner's lunge on the other side, rocking forward and back. Claiming those blocks underneath the palms if you like that. We'll plant the right palm, extend the left arm up, gaze goes up, twisting open to the left. Both hips still moving back in space. Replace the left palm, knee, top of foot, shifting the hips. And the left toe back, half split left side. Take a few breaths here. You should feel this on the back of the left leg. Inhale through lunge, gaze forward, chest is open. Exhale, hips back, half split. Inhale, broad chest. Exhale, stretch the back of the leg. Inhale through lunge. Walk the hands up onto the left thigh. Press the thigh away. Engage the lower belly. Lift the chest. Press the top of the right foot into the ground. Shift the hips back, half split. You're going to walk the 2 palms back towards the right knee. Going to draw the left hip back, right hip forward. Press the right palm into the mat. Sweep the left arm up. Twisting, half split. Drawing the shoulder blades together on the back. And replace the left palm. Step the left foot back. So the 2 knees are more or less together. Tuck the toes, hips up and back. Down dog. 3 breaths in. Out. Breath in. Breath out. Breath in. Breath out. Coming up onto the tiptoes, bend the legs, look forward. Then step to meet at the front of the mat. Letting the torso and the head hang over the legs. Rocking side to side. Bringing as much of a bend into the legs as is comfortable so you can really release out of the low back. Forward fold. We'll walk the hands up onto the shins, pressing them away, working to straighten the back and the arms. Straight line out through the pelvis, along the back, through the neck, out through the top of the head. Feel that low belly draw in. And exhale, fold again. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, press into the feet, bend the knees, sweep the arms out and up, look up. Exhale, draw the hands through center. Let them rest down by the side. Lower the chin and the gaze. Drop out of the back, along the back side of the neck. Out through the top of the head. Sense the whole body stacked. All right. We'll do one little balance because I owe it to you. And I'll just do a nice simple tree. So we'll bring the weight of the body into the left foot. So taking a look at the foot, see if you can press all the toes, spread wide on the floor. Hands start on the hips. Maybe you have a little bend in the left knee, and then slowly lift the right foot off the floor. And just play with freedom of the right leg. Balance. You can either make a little kickstand with the right foot. You can draw the right foot up into the little mound of the calf on the left side of the leg, on the left leg. Or you can reach down, use the hand, right hand, to help lift the right leg up to the inner thigh. Today, definitely in a more calf mood. Wherever you are, please try not to rest the right foot on the inside of the knee. Not great. So pick low or super high. It's fine, go ahead and low. So hands find the hips again. Trying to lift up out of the feet by pressing down into the foot. Drawing the belly in and up, the chest broadens. You can find prayer with your hands in front of the chest. Trying to find a spot either on the floor or wall or ceiling in front of you. Breathing all the while. See if you can breathe until that left standing leg starts to burn a bit, at least that long. Maybe the arms extend up. Maybe you wobble or sway. And then to come out, see if you can do it slowly before we go to the other side. So again, spread the whole right foot on the ground. Bringing the weight into the right leg. Hands on the hips. Lifting that left foot off the ground. Get started. And finding your favorite spot on your right leg for the left foot. And finding calf again. Playing with your favorite hand and arm positions. Again, claiming a non-moving spot on a surface in front of or above you. Your dedicated gaze. Trying to lift out of the belly, out of the low back, out of the hips, pressing down through the standing leg foot. See if we can stay standing until that right standing leg starts to burn. Engaging all the muscles of the standing leg. And to come out, try to do it with what looks like dignity. All right, so we'll come in for that last little back bend, I promise. So coming back to kneeling. Tops of the feet on the ground. Come up to stand on the legs. Actually, tuck the toes like this. Little inhale, hands to the chest. Just press when you inhale, feel the chest move into the two fingers on the chest. Bring the hands down onto the seat. So you'll see here, my palms are touching my butt or my upper butt, my lower back, the flat bony part of my pelvis. Then I'm working, same as when we were in Cobra, to draw the shoulder blades and the elbows together and back rather than winging out. So my outer shoulders moving away and back. We're working to let the pubic bone be really heavy so we feel more flat this way. And again, see if we can draw the chest forward and up to start the back bend. You are in a camel pose. So you can stay here Or you can start to walk the hands down the legs. Still, the chest is elevated. Still, the breath comes in and out. And so here, or you can lower the two hands to find the heels. Still, the chest is rising up. This is a really big stretch on the front of the chest and the shoulders. Still pulling the belly in, so pushing the hips forward. Maybe the head drops back. To come out, draw the chin towards the chest. Press into the feet, press the hips forward. Coming upright, sit back onto the thighs. Lower the chin and the gaze. Couple of breaths here. All right, gotta wrap things up. So come to seated. Just do one quick cobbler's pose, bound angle pose. So your little butterfly. You need to extend the arms up. Inhale, exhale, bending over the legs, and just let the spine bend and the head be heavy. Take 5 slow breaths. Pull down. And after 5 breaths, walk the hands back towards center, coming to upright. And lay it back to your final resting pose. Then when you get there to reclining, you can allow the arms to rest out by the side, palms face up, feels good. Legs can be bent like mine are now, and resting, the knees resting towards one another. If you like, you can extend either leg out to the side, forward. And if it feels comforting, it helps you to exit from your perceived environment around you. Close the eyes. Allow them to feel super soft on the eyeballs. Allow the shoulders, the elbows, and the hips and pelvis and the feet and hands to feel very heavy. Let the heaviness of the bones in the body tether you to the ground below. And imagine the ground below buoying your body at the same time. Bring your mind's eye back to the center of the chest and watch it rise and fall with the breath. Allow that inner attention to track down to the low belly. Observe that belly rising and falling with the breath. You can continue to relax here and quiet. Whenever you're ready, you can start with fingers and toes, take movements which might allow you to come back to sitting upright. If you are ready to close the practice, find that favorite seated position. Let the hands find the thighs. Bow the head and the chin towards the chest. And a long spine. And realize that the breath has been transformed. Stay in quiet as long as you like. I need to shut down. Thank you for joining me and everyone else who's live streaming in or watching after. If you have a wonderful rest of your day. My name is Adrienne. I think I forgot to say that. I'll see you next week. Namaste. Yes.